Have a motion to open the meeting, please. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so, first on the agenda is chairman's comments. I don't have any comments this evening, other than that item number 3 will be continued until July 11th, 2024, at the request of the applicant.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
July 11th, I'll be on vacation.
Well, and I did want to ask, do we want to look at, usually you try to do one meeting in July
One
and...
meeting in July and one meeting in August, yeah?
Huh?
One meeting July, one meeting August.
One meeting in July and one meeting in August. I do not know if this room is available. I do not know if this room is available on the 18th. What's the ZBA schedule? Is it the first and last, first and
They're
fourth?
opposite, yeah, so it's first and third.
First and
We're
third.
second and fourth.
But they usually don't, ZBA usually does not meet in here, in this meeting room. They usually meet there. Plus, we have another room we can do downstairs. Do you want to look at, would you prefer to kind of split the difference and do the 18th for the meeting in July?
I won't be available the 18th.
You're not available the 18th. Paul, how about you?
I'm good in July.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Amazon will be continuing it yet again. I don't think they're going to.
I mean, the last meeting in July, I was not doing that one because I'm not going to be available for
Right.
that one. So,
If we want to, who's not here on the 11th?
Of July?
Yeah.
I don't believe I will be.
I'll be here.
you'll be here. I think I can be here.
Okay.
Mitch
If we want to
Terry
just
is
do
not.
that one meeting, I don't believe they're going to go forward. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff with the road.
I can zoom in on the meeting?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Okay. We'll just maybe just do just the 11th.
Let's do the 11th.
And then I have an issue of splitting the difference, the 15th. I'll be away. So
August?
we could kind of cross the bridge whether we're going to do the 8th or 22nd, the normal time. And that will be based on any applications that we get.
I think we should discuss it when we get closer to that time.
Yeah, we can discuss that one as we get closer.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, if you want to go ahead and continue it to,
Make a motion that we continue the Amazon meeting to July 11th,
Per the owner's request.
per the
Have a
owner's
second?
request?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're good. Okay, so, item number 2, site plan modifications discussion, special planning 21-001-11 Evans Way, solar canopies. The property owner would like to discuss modifying and reducing the landscaping, changes to approved screen fencing, and possibly other changes. Could the applicant and/or his representative please come up? Good evening. This is, I just want to make it, go ahead, make your name and now.
you need to press the button, get it green. There you go.
Awesome. My name is Amanda Langer. I'm from JDE Civil, representing David
You can sit down,
for
get
the
comfortable.
11 Evans Drive project.
Okay. I'm going to make a comment just up front. We made a lot of accommodations for this project and another project that he did afterwards. I'm going to be inclined to listen to you guys tonight, but I'm not so inclined we're going to make any changes to it. So
Okay.
I will see what you want to say, and we can kind of go from there.
Okay.
All right?
And
Go right ahead. Yep.
if they can, we received some photos. Is this gone?
Yeah.
Okay, we received some photos, which I have given to you, and I know Paul is on online. So if the cameraman could zoom in, we can show the photos for the presentation, so that Paul, who's online, can see it.
So we can start with the easy part.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Let me fix this so it doesn't happen again. I thought it was off.
That just reminded me to shut mine off.
you're not at town meeting.
And if you want, I can read it, so, because I think it, Paul, can you see it? Can you read it on the screen?
I can't read it, no.
Okay. What it says is, it's from the neighbor. It says, Dear Mr. Greenblatt, Mr. Roth, and members of the Stoughton Planning Board, I am the property owner living at 1459 Central Street, which abuts the Kidsport property along the east border. I understand the planning board would like the green screening inserted into the fence between our properties. I'm strongly opposed to this, as I currently use the fence to grow my grapevines, and would like to look at the newly installed black screen fence. I would greatly appreciate it if the town would retract this recommendation. Elizabeth
Kahino?
Kahino, 1459 Central Street.
Yeah, so I feel like that one's the easier of the items.
You need it really close to you.
Oh, I feel like that one's the easier of the items to address. It was originally supposed to be, I can't remember the name of it, but like a green faux tree type of fence insert. I'm not sure what got lost in translation during install, or if there was issues getting a hold of the material. But he went ahead and put in the black slats,
And there
which
was-
the neighbor
there was
likes more, I guess.
Probably several meetings about that fencing, and very explicitly not to ask for that and the black vinyl or the green vinyl. We actually wanted a white fence, white PVC fence, and they
Yes.
kind of rejected that, and so we made concessions to him, and we asked for the green, and they were fine with it. Everybody was fine with it. Now all of a
Okay.
sudden, they installed something different, so
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that.
I don't know either. I don't, we don't do this for our health. I'm not trying to be
No, I know.
on you. It's just that we spend a lot of time and effort to make things the way, that,
Yep.
to accommodate what we have for our
And
own
I
architectural.
agree with you.
Our architectural design standards. And we take a lot of time at these meetings to do this, and that's why
Yes.
these are made up this way. So
Yep.
I'm not sure what we would get around. I'm not sure why we would
Yeah.
accommodate that.
I mean, I think from the neighbor's standpoint, the problem probably for her is if he removes them now and replaces them with the other one, it might kill what she has growing there. I think that seems to be the problem. I know that still negates the fact that he didn't do what he was supposed to do and what he was told to do and what he agreed to do.
Is there grapes growing on there now?
Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If you want to see the thing.
Yeah, I saw it.
So the fence is actually on Elizabeth's property. It's not on his property. At least that
Which
portion.
is an accommodation we made for them at that time. 'cause
Right.
That was what they both
Yeah.
asked for. I mean, we've
There's an
made.
easement.
It's an
Yeah,
easement,
there's
right,
an easement.
in there, there's an easement for the building that's up at the other corner. We made accommodations not to put fencing around the other pieces of property that he
Yep.
had. I'm not sure why we would make that change.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys would like for him to proceed and still put in that, the other fencing that you originally requested, maybe when we can delay the install of that until those, have like, whatever for the winter. So I guess that would be an alternative. I just hate to kill our grapes.
Again, it's, whatever you're going to do, it's just I'm trying, like I said, I think we've made a lot of concessions to date on
Yep.
this property, so I don't know where all of a sudden we're going backwards from where we started, so.
Okay, so you still would prefer the green slots?
Let's go on with everything else you've got, and we can kind of, I'll refer to the board, but right now, my opinion is I'm really not looking to change anything, but let's go on.
Okay. So the other item was, I'm just looking at the list we have here. There was an item on here about the catch basin drainage system being clean post-construction. I believe I sent in the invoice for that, but that has been done, so that's been addressed. The one-way enter signs and the do not enter signs, those have been marked out to be installed. I'm not sure that the installation's taken place yet. Did you?
They have not, but
Not yet.
we're getting the material.
Okay. The other item was the asphalt to be removed in the back portion. That is going to take place. The asphalt company has to come back out to put on, what is like a top coat or something? Is
Yeah.
that what it is? So when they come back to take care of the top coat, I have personally marked out the area that the asphalt needs to be taken up, so that will happen. David had wanted to request that instead of seeding and loaming that area when that comes up, if it's possible to put gravel there, because he has a bus that parks there, specifically there. So, even if he puts seed and loam down, the bus is probably still going to continue to park there, and it's just going to kill it anyways. So that might be a better alternative to loam and seed, but he will be removing that pavement.
Okay.
So that is one of the other requests.
Quick question, I have them, actually, I Googled it, and
Sure.
I'm looking at this, I Googled the address, and I'm looking, I see the buses parked in the back left corner.
So if you're looking into the parking lot, the back left corner?
Yeah,
Right.
that's changed since then, but that's where he's parking. So that's still he's parking that location, yes.
Yep.
So are the buses parking on asphalt or?
Yes.
gravel? Okay.
They're parking on asphalt, but a portion of the asphalt that was supposed to be removed per the agreement, that somehow ended up getting paved over, but he's going to take care of that when they come back out to do the top coat. I guess the asphalt company didn't pay attention to the plans.
There was always asphalt there, but we were going to reduce a portion of the asphalt. They didn't notice that on the plan.
You had mentioned that you expect the buses to continue to park there even after the asphalt's taken out?
I mean, there's space, but there is still going to be space for a bus to park there, but it's going to be a little tight. So even when the bus backs in, I mean, buses are big, it's not like parking a Miata, so they're not always on point with it. So,
The bus doesn't, where it's been marked out,
Yeah.
the bus doesn't park on that area. But it just gives a little bit more room for it to maneuver in its space.
Okay.
So we have a picture if you want to.
yeah, I have a picture if you need to see it. It's one on my flash drive.
So, I don't think so. No? It was one that I just took yesterday.
I was just bringing it up because if it will in fact be used as a parking space, I'd prefer to keep it paved and find some other area to offset that pavement. When this project came before the board initially, we weren't looking to do any stormwater management upgrades because we were offsetting some of the new asphalt area. And then, we did the basketball court behind the building as well.
Pavement.
So we've had some concessions along the way. If there's some other area that would be more appropriate for the offset of the additional pavement, we'd certainly consider that. But I'd rather not see that area removed and then have, buses parking on that.
But as you see, the area that got marked out, the bus isn't even on there, nor does it, but we
So
can
how many
certainly.
how many feet from the curb line to where that purple line that you were taking out is?
I'm trying to remember, I think it was like 2 feet from the curb to like the back of the bus, and from the curb to the front of the bus.
What are we looking to take, about 40 square feet or something?
It's supposed to be
I don't remember.
100 square feet.
It's supposed to be 100 square feet. If you look
100 square feet.
That looks
If
like
you
a
look
lot
at the
less than 100
plan,
square
that does
feet.
not look anywhere near the plan. Here, I've highlighted if you want to come see it.
Yeah, I mean, I marked it out myself with the tape, so.
Doesn't the bus have to be on pavement?
That does not look like 100 square feet.
That's why we're trying to say it's gotta be on pavement.
Yeah.
And we don't have a water separator there anyway, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, but at least you'd see if the bus was leaking oil.
sort of piggyback off what you were saying, one of the other ways we could address this, and of course, this is up to whether or not you are okay with this as well, removal of the sidewalks behind the building that goes to the street.
If they're not used, I mean,
But they are egress sidewalks.
I'm sorry?
They are egress sidewalks.
I don't know what that means.
Emergency egress, right?
The sidewalks behind the building.
Right.
Yeah, but are they for emergency egress?
Well, I mean, and the only reason I say that, for
Oh, that's
most
me, I'm sorry.
egress is what I mean, is these buildings are, the doors back here are emergency egress for the building.
Yeah.
Okay, my only concern, and it's.
It would be more the sidewalks going from the building to the street. The sidewalk from the building to the parking lot, that would remain. I mean, the building to the street, I really
I
don't
mean,
see
from
much
where
of
the
a use
fence
for
line
those.
is out to the street?
Yeah. I have a plan in there if you wanted to pull that up. You can open up the as-built plan if you want. That one. Nope, not that one. Up top, the top folder.
This one?
Yep. The as-built plan. There we go. Yeah, so we would cut it. And I would have to work out what it would be square feet wise, but, you know, we could cut it, say, here, or even just even that out here, and have that go that way. I mean, I know there's still a door here, but, you know, it's right there.
Well, you'd have to discuss it with the building commissioner on what he would require,
Okay.
if it's just a landing or not.
I mean, the landing all is going to be required by code. The only reason I say it from a planning standpoint of view in this situation is because we're dealing with a building full of kids. And if you're in the wintertime and you don't have an egress way walked, I don't know how they're going to come out in an emergency.
Those
That's
two
it.
back doors, not exits.
They're not required exits?
They're not required exits.
Right.
So
The one on the
Both
two
of
on the
them.
right-hand side?
the one in the gym is.
I know that, I remember, I couldn't remember, Dave, which one
Yeah,
is required.
So this one, these two doors are not required exits. The label does no exit. So there's a fence here. Certainly you wouldn't need this. This is an exit. It's an emergency exit.
Right,
Because that's where one of the ones are.
right.
So this we could keep, but certainly all that, if you wanted to keep this walkway, you could, but there's a fair amount, neither of these are exits, so you could remove if it made sense to get that square footage that we needed.
If there's enough, I don't know if there's, it's up to you, if there's enough square footage there.
it looks like there's probably enough area there to offset it, so, yeah, I'd like to see what that looks like, as
Okay.
long as the building commissioner is okay
And it was
with that.
180 square feet minimum, correct?
What's that?
That the offset was supposed to be 180 square feet minimum, I believe?
I think it's just
It's 100.
100.
It says
100
100?
square feet.
Okay.
Right here,
Yeah.
100 square feet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that might work out better. And certainly I can take a look at other areas as well to see, you know, if we can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, if, as long as we're okay with the engineers, it's not considered a main egress, and I'm
Okay.
okay relocating that portion. I mean, we don't have to have that particular piece. It's
Yeah.
just, as long as we're meeting the drainage requirements for the site,
Yep.
we're not upgrading from where we were, we're gonna be okay with it.
And it doesn't, and the building commissioner with accessible access is fine too. So, whatever that is.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, the accessible access is fine, and it's only got to do with the egress, the emergency egress doors.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think, you know, if I put together like a small conceptual plan and speak with them about it, we could address that.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, just coordinate that with myself, Craig, and the building
course.
commissioner. I'm in the building department, my office is now, so.
Okay,
So it's easy to coordinate with them.
yep.
In the offset, if they took out the non-permeable stuff and put something permeable, does that qualify as offset? So if they did it with gravel or, allow permeability,
Yes,
It
it does, but the reason why we don't want that in the area where the buses are parking is we end up with,
No, I
things
meant for-
dripping from the vehicles.
So replace the walkways with that?
area.
Yeah.
Is there an alternative by removing the concrete and doing something of a permeable nature.
There is,
for a
yeah.
walkway.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're looking to remove impervious cover and
Right.
replace it with pervious,
Okay, so-
however.
And
you
we
can
were quite
accomplish that.
generous to allow the pickleball court without subtracting more impervious cover.
right.
So
I was just curious.
we
on that.
can work, it sounds like we can work with the engineer on that.
All right.
Good.
I can definitely take care of that. And I believe the last outstanding item, the main event, would be the plantings.
Do you have a plan?
I have a plan of what was supposed to be for plantings. The plan you had up was the as-built for what is there, but I don't have all of the plants. We didn't locate all of the plants.
No, but you have the approved plan, is it this one?
Yes, that is correct. There's the landscape plan. So, the plan does show existing things that are supposed to be present, and those items, I do believe, are still remaining. The biggest problem that he ran into would be that middle island. The transformers ended up being more quantity-wise and larger in scale than what they had originally anticipated. That being said, the plantings got cut back substantially. And there needs to be at least like a 2-foot clearance around the transformers for safety precaution. Access, if the plants dry out, whenever that time of year comes around, we don't want to,
Okay, so I mean,
Accident
we get
fire or
no, we
anything,
get no issue. I think we can relocate, I mean, I was down there today, I think relocating these plantings to another area on the site, and I think that's something that, Bill is real good at as far as that types of stuff, so taking the quantity that we have and relocating it and getting everything else we asked for planted.
Okay.
I don't think we have an issue with that. I think I saw that, I did go down there, I saw what that area looks like. So
Okay.
I do understand that, you're not going to be able to put those plants there, it just doesn't,
right,
it doesn't happen.
right.
Yeah.
I also did notice along the parking lot edge that we don't have any grass. We got something like an artificial football field.
Yeah, so we had that material, that where the sports court was, so we thought we put it there because it would be tough to grow grass there because the canopy overhangs. So we thought that would look good.
Unfortunately, my own personal opinion is it does not look good, and I was really disappointed with, the finishes as you're coming into this whole parking lot area. So the way the curbs finished out, I did not like that over there, and maybe it was just the way it was laid down, maybe it wasn't
Which
set.
curbing it?
So your curbing coming in on each side of the driveways, you have a slope curbing, granite curbing, they never finished out the radiuses. So what happens is if you come in right now, somebody who's not watching a misses would blow a tire on the edge of that right there. Plow's gonna hit it, it's gonna knock them right out of the way. Those gotta get finished off in a way that's not the way that they are.
I can certainly do that, that's not a problem.
Right, I mean, those types of things, so there's 4 of them there that, need to get flared around. Cleaning up that sidewalk, which is something we did discuss, how you're gonna clean up those entrances a little bit. I thought when they would pave it, they would kind of pave right out over those areas, but now you're saying you have another coat of paving going on?
Yeah, we're gonna, well, we didn't add any paving to the project. It was a seal coat, and lines, and we added the paving in the back, but we didn't add any to the parking lot, but we don't have a problem adding, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
The
this
main-
whole- the
the main
entrance
ro-
here
It's
kind of
really
is
on
a-
Evans Drive.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, that's something we obviously didn't catch up in the as-built. That's curbing, and granite curbing is a requirement, so they're gonna have to put that in.
No, and he's agreeing to that. What I'm saying is also that
It's in,
the asphalt thing
actually.
was never finished out to the street, so you're kind of
There's,
going over a bunch
I
of
think we have
rough
pictures
spots.
over there if you wanted to pull
Yeah.
that up.
So, I did want to say, I looked at the landscaping, Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
and, they didn't put any of the RS in. Nothing along the corner was put in. the shrubs that are along that's shown along it's rather interesting. The stuff along the building, that's existing.
No, I realize.
That
the other
wasn't,
stuff-
shouldn't.
Most
and-
of the stuff that it was is the outer stuff.
Yeah,
that's
all this
in that
outer
outer
stuff's
cor-
existing. This,
The stuff out
this
on the street.
planter island to I'll go from the center to the right, only had a fraction of what would have been planted. So they should be replanting this. This island was planted. I agree with you about the indoor-outdoor carpet. And I agree with the applicant, I don't think grass is going to grow there either, because it's basically undercover. Maybe a mulch.
Maybe it's a matter of
mulch
getting
or
out whatever's
gravel.
underneath it. It needs to get graded. If you look at it, you have like something hidden underneath it.
There's some
stuff-
roots and other
Oh,
things.
Some trees came down because of the canopy. We can grind those stumps down if.
But I mean, I don't even know. Some of the stuff, it goes up and over. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a
that's
tree
what it
stump,
is,
but,
is they-
I mean, I think
never-
if you got the thing
We never got.
properly set and properly done, maybe, but, and if the issue with that doing, maybe that's something, but what I saw out there was it wasn't acceptable.
We don't have a problem if you think that that's the right approach, is to grind the stumps, but if you think we want to pull it up, I don't think grass is going to grow there.
Yeah, I would think that mulch or gravel would be fine in that area. I mean, Craig and I went and looked at it, and we talked about that. We agree with you. I don't think
Perhaps they could,
the green, huh?
perhaps they could mound the soil up a bit and then plant Pachysandra or Liriope or any number of ground covers that would fill in the English ivy,
Yeah,
I mean, it would definitely do the trick. They'll grow in shade.
yeah. Well, it wasn't proposed. It was proposed to just be, the
Grass.
natural area. That would be compared to the handful, the plants that aren't there, in order to put those things, 18 inches on center or 12 inches on center would be a extreme amount, even at 4-inch pots, would be an extreme, would be a great cost.
Yeah, but mulch is not is just as expensive if you
Well, I would think,
throw it out over the years.
He has what he's trying to say is he has the grass.
Yeah.
He has the fake grass. I think if he makes it look proper,
if he prepares the base and puts gravel underneath it and does it correctly, he could put the
right now, it
that's what
just
you're
looks like
saying.
throwing out sheets of carpet or something. It just doesn't look right. But the outside corner, none of these plantings got done either, right on the corner of Evans Drive and Central Street.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
No. None of the plantings out on the
None of the
corner.
plantings were done there. The
Right.
planting to the right, this planting that's right here, the planting to the right of the transformer, there's about, I would say that 2/3 was not planted. I understand why some planting wasn't here. I wish they would have called me, because I would have just done a field modification and rearrange a handful of things and probably eliminate some plantings there, because it just can't fit because of the
Right, but we
thing.
could have moved some to either
Right.
out front or someplace
Right.
else. We could-
So
I don't
I'm
care
more
what
than
we
willing to meet with the landscaper or whomever you have to take an inventory, of what's not there, and what you're saying is place it elsewhere.
Place elsewhere. I mean, out
Okay.
here, part of the issue when you look at this is kind of like a whole dead area right out on Central Street, which is the front of the building. Do something to try to brighten that up and maybe take some of those. If you can't put them there, to put them someplace else, that's all.
So one of the other things, I'm glad you mentioned that, the plantings along Central Street, we had proposed azaleas, and I had a conversation with David earlier today about that, and he had attempted to plant some there, and they just died. They didn't seem to hold up for whatever reason, and he wanted to ask the permission to replace the azaleas with hydrangeas, if possible. Do you have any opposition to
I
that?
don't have an issue with azaleas, hydrangeas.
Hydrangeas are heavily need of water.
Yep.
So do you have water out there for them, or? I mean, if an azalea would grow
We have
there.
water access, but
Yeah. I don't know if this is correct or not, but I see on the planting, it says 24 inches apart, and I see these perennials out in the area, they look like they're much further than 24 inches, 4 inches apart.
Oh, and in the,
Says minimum.
In the picture where the postal thing is there, and then I'm showing on the design.
oh, yeah, the plantings were small, and there was a fraction of what was put in.
Okay. So if they,
I estimate maybe a quarter of the plantings were put in.
right.
So David, did the other ones die because they didn't get enough water, or what was the reason for?
It could be the salt that's getting
Not
sprayed
sure,
off
but
of
the
Central
grass doesn't
Street.
even grow very good in that area, in the front of Evans Drive. You know, we've tried to seed that, but
Which area?
right around the signpost.
Up here?
Yeah, that whole area.
Probably because it just needs more water out there. It's
Well,
like a
maybe-
desert out there.
Or maybe, well, not now. I mean, you know,
Right.
even now, it's not very green. It may be, like you say, because of the salt going up and down Central Street, you know, so,
It
but
can also,
we planted azaleas around the signpost, and they all died, you know, so.
granted that this issue can be an issue when you plant. Anytime when you plant shrubs, you should be watering them regularly
Right.
for at least a year to 2 years, you know. And depending on the weather, we had a year that was very, very dry in April and stuff, and it damaged plants that were established. And then you get a wet year like this year, and everything's growing like crazy, you know. You have to, when you're planting stuff, you have to attend to these things that,
Absolutely.
you know, it's not just because they died because they were the wrong choice or something like that. They probably were not maintained properly.
Not 100% sure. I'm
Okay.
not.
You plant Japanese knotweed, it'll grow there. No, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me?
I said you could plant Japanese knotweed, it'll grow there.
Yeah, it grow anywhere.
So,
I'm flexible. We're planning on putting something there, but we want it to look good. You know, so. And we, you know, so,
Now, in your,
grow, so.
in the shaded areas, the hosta seems like it's thriving quite nicely on these pictures here. Those aren't that expensive to mass into a planting to, if you just, that maybe grass is the right choice, maybe a massing of different types of hostas would.
Yeah, that's
Because
certainly.
they grow quite vigorously.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, as long as you guys are open to him having alternative plants there and not planting 100% to the plan, if he needs to switch something out for something else.
If you planted a site meeting with Bill, would be a good thing for you, whoever your landscaper is.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Get
leave it to the
together
discretion of
Out on
them.
the site, and Bill is real good as far as how to place that around. I think
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
Okay.
That way there, allowing him to modify, I don't have an issue.
Right.
Because he does have a background on that, and he kind of knows it.
Perfect.
Better than I do. Paul knows it better than I do, but that type
Yeah.
of thing is, that's where their things are, and if you can meet with him and do that, I think you're
Yeah,
going to be.
I was going to say, leaving it at the discretion to a
Concerned about quantity,
landscaper, because they
and
know,
we can manipulate it as long as the quantity's there.
okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
we'll be happy to work with you, you know, for
It's,
sure.
it's a numbers game for me, it's for them, and it's an aesthetics game for me.
Okay, that works.
That makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
we
And
just
you
want
You
to,
say your numbers, it is to a point, but it's also aesthetic. It's also,
It's
I
aesthetics, but
want
it's
the site to
also-
look good, and when
Right.
Yeah, we
when I
do.
get down there today, I was disappointed
Yeah,
with the way certain things look.
we want it to
I
look good as well, so.
So-
we want to make sure whatever we plant in there, though, is something that we'll maintain. So that's pretty much the point I was getting at. And, I would hope
Right,
that
and if we're not
whatever
picking-
landscaper comes out,
We can meet with your landscaper.
yeah, whatever landscaper or yourself comes out, you know what you're looking at. I
Whoever
can
he's
set
going to
up
have install and say, oh, well, hey, we had problems with this, what about this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to dictate the design, that's the problem.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I need to say, he'd say,
Right.
well, what about this? It's like I just had the project at IKEA, they couldn't get things, and we couldn't plant where it was supposed to because it's a retaining pond. And I said, well, what about along here? And I said, and we came up with,
Alternatives, right.
they came up with 3 different, I said, what are these 3, and then, we
Worked it out.
went along,
Okay.
They still planted the canopy
Yeah.
trees, they were just in a different place and different species,
Okay,
so,
I think that's a good resolution for that.
so.
Okay.
So the landscaping, we can modify in the field and get the rough similar quantity and an aesthetics that they want. It sounds like you've got to redo the carpet area if you want to keep it and get it, the stumps out and those sorts, and make it,
We can
Make it
certainly-
presentable.
yeah.
We can
And
certainly
then
do
you're
that.
gonna, and then we can, to comply, meet with myself, Craig, and the building commissioner on what sidewalks that are gonna be
Yeah.
taken out that
Yeah.
are
I'll
fine.
crunch the numbers on that and work with David to find out, which ones are not accessible.
And if it's a little over the 100 square feet, that's probably good, because we were quite generous on a pickleball court. Did
That
not
sounds
require
good to
any
me.
drainage on it.
Yep.
So, anything we can add there. Mr. Chairman, I think it's really down to that fence with that green stuff
Dave, how
in
did
it.
we end up with a different fence?
We have two plans with two, and we followed.
We only had one certified plan, though. It only had the
No, no,
green line
the
on it.
main plan said black, and the landscape plan said green. And then
But the
the
order-
fence guy worked on the main plan, off the main plan. That's how
Well,
it
then
happened.
you changed a different plan, because we always had that green.
No, the
plan.
green was on the landscape plan, but the main plan had black. The main, do you have it, Amanda?
I couldn't find that one. The
Yeah,
main
so-
plan that we have,
I'm
The
looking
big plan
at,
I've seen, we talked about, because we
Says
made
the
sure we,
PVC
well, it's one of the things we tried
it's
to
on
ensure.
it's on the plan, hedge link, install the hedge link
No,
fence
but that's
slab.
on the landscape plan.
Nope,
no,
Oh,
no,
it's on
this
the
is the
regular
site
plan.
plan.
Site plan.
No, the main drawing had
That's the
black.
site plan.
This
That
is-
is the main drawing.
No,
This is- Then you bid it on the original drawing you submitted that didn't get approved. Because the approved plans are based on the 5/20/21
Town comments.
Revised drawing.
revised drawings.
Like I said, I thought I was following the, a valid drawing.
there may have been an old plan
There
circulating
was an old
around.
plan that had the block on it.
That had
and
it on
that'd
it?
be-
I couldn't
As a
find that.
board, the board that was at that time, we requested the black not be used, and we requested it to go to the green slatted. And it wasn't, I mean, I know, Dave, because we had a lot of discussion about that, it was on the plans in all the locations that we
Yeah,
had.
like I said, would have not, I definitely would have done green. Those are brand-new slats that we put in the fall.
No, it was, like I said, we had it, it was even on your landscape drawings, on your main drawings, it was everything you did, and we had a lot of discussion about that. I mean, that particular one, because we gave up on the PVC fence, because you guys
It was
wanted
in
to want
lieu
the
of it.
PVC
That's
fence.
that's what the condition says.
Right.
It was actually it says applicant to install the hedge link fence slats, which are these, I don't know,
Pipe cleaner tree
I call them
things.
green pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
On the existing chain link fence, in lieu of installing a white vinyl fence.
Yeah, but that's how it happened, is whatever reason we got a drawing. Like I said, the neighbor likes the look of the black. They've already planted their grapevines there.
Any grapes growing through?
What's that?
Is there any grapevines?
There will be,
Oh, they just planted them?
they just planted them.
Okay.
So we had pictures that we. that
Yeah, they saw
that were
them
shown
earlier.
yeah. We'd appreciate both the neighbors and I.
I mean, I
Would
don't know,
like
I'm-
to keep it that way if possible. It was, it was a mistake. But
Well, that fencing, I believe, is supposed to have, that same material was supposed to come down both the front and the back and around the sides, and none of that was installed.
Well, we'd
We
be
have
happy
the
to
slats
put it on the sides if that's.
You only
what-
have the slats along the property line, there's nothing on either the front or the back sides of that fencing that we have right now.
Is it on the plan? But we'd be happy to put it on the sides if that's what you'd like.
I'm sorry, I was copying the plans. I don't have the plan set that had the decision on it, so I was just,
That one, yeah, that one's it.
so I just did it just to, I'll bring the plan up. This is the approved plan set, and I will highlight up, there's the note right there. Applicant to install hedge link fence slats on the existing chain link. It looks like you put a brand-new fence up, or did you?
No, we put the fence.
The black vinyl slats?
Yeah, it looks good. I think it looks really nice, but, like I said,
So that plan shows it kind of encompassing the area, so it goes from the property line to the building on each side?
Right.
Correct.
Right, so could you put the hedge link screening on those portions?
absolutely.
Would that be a compromise, putting it on the sides and not against the neighbor?
I guess.
Whose fence is it if it's on
His
their?
fence.
It's my
It's
fence.
it's his fence, it's just, the way it's set up, we had to get an easement because it's on the other people's property.
Yeah. Paul, if you
Picked
see
up on
right
the
here,
It's picked up on the survey that it's on the neighbor's property.
It encroached, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
Paul,
property
do you
lines
see
there are
right
weird.
here?
Mm-hmm.
The property line goes like this, and the fence goes straight across. So it says area of existing encroachment, see easement plan.
Right.
Has that easement been documented?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yep, that's in the file.
It's kind of weird. They have a portion of their barn on our property.
Yeah, in the back.
So it was like a weird,
So it's just a
Yeah.
toss-up.
Yeah.
There's an easement for that as well. So it's, I guess, like a trade.
It costs more to fix it than it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, if the board's okay, I'm okay with going with the front and the back. I just,
You mean the sides?
the sides, well, it's the front, yeah, sides of the building, whatever. I just don't want to get into a lot of modifications here, Dave. We spent a lot of time trying to deal with this. We've
No, I
given
know.
you
I-
a lot of
I appreciate
accommodations. I don't,
all the
you know,
flexibility you guys have
and I
had,
just
so
really
it's-
think that, the reasons for what we did was clear at the time, and I just don't see any reason why we should have to be making modifications. So if the rest of the board's okay with putting the front and back, if not, we'll just leave it the way that the plan says. It's up to,
Well, one further comment is that the grapevines, she has the posts in the ground. She could run wires across from post to post and grow the grapes on her own wire. It doesn't have to grow on the fence,
it's existing,
you know? But if everybody seems to want to compromise on it.
I would be up to you guys to say what you want to do.
Yeah.
You guys want to change something, or you guys want to modify it?
Mr. Chairman, I agree with you.
Would it be
At the
feasible?
Paul, I
point-
can't hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I agree with you, but at this point, the compromise seems to fit what's going on, at least through this grape growing season.
At least for the grape growing season.
Are they
long as we
grapes
get a
for
bottle
making
of
wine, or are they?
Right.
We got to get the bottle of wine from the grapes. How's that? Okay, so can I have a motion one way or the other? Either we keep it the way it is, or we take a motion to allow him to change the fence along the property line to the black slats and then use the green hedge link on the sides of the basketball court or pickleball court.
Motion to compromise and allow them to do the green slats to the facing side and
Parking lot side.
And the existing black on the back,
an existing black on the back.
and that we're going to relocate landscaping that's existing, the relocate landscaping that wasn't planted due to the site constraints,
Okay.
and work on the balance calculations on removing impervious area to meet the conditions of approval. And we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you, go ahead.
Yeah, one comment that I will make is, when all is said and done, that the buses remain on pavement rather than,
That's why we don't want to mess with because he would remove the asphalt there, put gravel, and the bus would park near it or on it.
Right,
And that's what we
okay.
don't want. So we would rather remove impervious area elsewhere on the site.
okay,
So can I have a second to that?
second,
All in favor? Yes, sir.
Aye.
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 I'm going to abstain, so it's three to one abstain.
You abstained?
Yep.
Okay, I just make sure when Karen reads the thing.
Yep, I
So,
understand.
you'll need to contact me.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, and I'll have a draft plan to you guys as well, once I do the calculations for the impervious.
Okay, we'll start with that one and then work our way into the landscape.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, let me,
We have no meeting minutes to approve, correct? Right, so, other than that, unless there's any other business from anybody, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.